sir.
Okay. There is some problem with specifically hosting in my computer because I don't know, something has happened with WebEx. So I'm sorry for that. I think 13 students have joined now. Please, meanwhile, what I'll do is start sharing it and let the others also join. Okay. So post the entire content. Okay. So let me share the Google Chrome. Google Chrome. Arif, can you able to listen me now? Arif?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. I am able to hear.
Okay. And is the whiteboard is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm just drawing whatever I have just lost. Okay. So this is structure which is type struct node. There is nothing to worry. We have enough time. We have to sit everybody comfortable and then make sure that we are understanding all the aspects. Okay, so let me check the participants. Finally, later. Yeah, this is about the node. Now I think I started with a red node if I'm correct. So it's ready. Good. So let me start. Green, green. Okay. So let us start drawing this fellow here. This is my green node. Then the black pencil. Yeah, take this fellow here. Then green. I hope what I'm doing is visible. Can somebody?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah, fine, good. Can you tell me what were the addresses I have taken? What was the root node address? I have taken 100. I think I have taken 100. Yes.
Sir.
Fine. So A, then this fellow is 100. This fellow is root node. This fellow is also head node. And I'm sorry, uh, this object needs to be deleted. And draw this. This is memory. Memory cut horizontally, not vertically. Okay. Let me check the participants. There are 23 only. Please drop the forward the sent from my office ID. Can somebody respond? Am I audible? Can somebody respond? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Two Anaghas. Anagha 1, Anagha 2. Okay, I think Anagha, are you using both as well as mobile?
Sir, I am disconnecting one now.
Yeah, okay, fine. 25 students. Okay, fine. Okay, let this fellow be here. Now, what do I need to do? I have to take A here and then what are the values? The values I have taken is 1. Then this fellow will be 1. Then again start coding it, meaning initially take node as null. Now while 1. ఎవరు ఎవరు somebody is shouting. Let me see. I think some family quarrel is going on somewhere. Somebody's student's microphone is still on. I request to mute your microphone. And am I audible? Am I audible?
Sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm becoming like Arnab Goswami. Okay, so this is null. Next, this fellow while one under this, I have to ask press 1 for adding a node, press 2 for display, P2 exit, P2 exit. Monish has joined. Okay, 26 students have joined. I'll be taking up to another one hour if you are okay, because I came to know that Ramdev sir has scheduled his class later. So I request your friends also to please join. Ask them to join by using the link which I have forwarded with my office email ID. That is abid.khan@staff.vc.ac.in. And unless there is a need, please don't unmute it. Earlier there was a problem with audio. Okay. For cross verification of my audio thing, whenever I'm asking whether my audio is good, please one of you can probably unmute and acknowledge to my query. Okay. So am I audible?
Sir.
Am I audible? Yeah, fine. Okay, so let us continue this. Maybe a sort of repetitive thing. Did I start recording? I think I have recorded. I have already recorded the earlier part also, but I'll upload both the videos. Anyway, first is what if now did I share this fellow this web?
Sir.
Is the web page is visible? Yes, Anagha.
Sir, if you are not able to hear you, it's him, sir.
If you are not able to hear, what about you? Are you able to hear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, maybe let me check some other students. Ketan, can you able to hear me? Kirti, can you able to hear me? Kirti, can you able to hear me? Roll number 15. Roll number 25, Prakshal, can you able to hear me? Let me use the chat box. Kirti, yes. Prakshal, can you able to hear me? Please use the text. Pratibha, can you able to hear me? Please use the chat box. Yeah, Pratibha says yes. Richika, can you able to hear me? Richika, can you able to hear me? Yes. I think Anaga, everybody are able to hear. Anaga, can you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Now is
Just now
the
somebody said they didn't.
Diksha has joined just now. Diksha, can you able to hear me? Diksha. Okay, Diksha not responding. Jaswant, Monish, use the chat box if you can. Yeah, yes. Okay, there are 30 students. Fine. So ask them to join by using the ID that I have sent from abid.khan at staff.vc.ac.in. Okay, so meanwhile others join. Whatever we have done, since I lost the content, I am again redoing it. It will be a sort of repetitive, but it is better to know. Okay, so what is this? We are creating the first node. So if choice is one, so assuming that you are accepting the choice here, that means here you are taking C in choice. If choice is one, user is willing to add. This is the end of while. Now this is the end of if. Now if choice is one, if head is null, I request the students to switch off your microphone.
अरे TDM बैठ रहा
Yes, some boys student. Yeah, can you able to hear as well as look the screen what I am showing? Can somebody come in? Kirti, 15, roll number 15. Roll number 37, Srija, can you able to hear me? Unable to join as she is getting an error. Anagha. Okay, fine. 15. 15, I think Kirti has joined. I think 48. Ask them to join by using, yeah, Krishna Kirti, she has joined, no? Roll number 49, she is present. Kirti, can you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine.
Now only I joined, sir.
Yeah, fine.
Yes, sir.
No problem. I mean, we will study slowly, comfortably. Okay. So there is no need to hurry up. Okay, there are 30 students as of now, 30 only. Shall I proceed the coding and the analysis part?
Sir.
Srinija, can I continue? Vamsi, are you there? Roll number 58. He is unable to join. 37.
सर
Yeah, 37. Rupasri is 32. 37. Ask roll number 37 to refresh, to close everything and again come in. Ask him or her to take his own time and then join. Because by that time everybody joins, we will be up to the content what we have lost previously. Okay, so I'm going to close the participants window and I'm going to start writing the content. And today we will complete this fellow which is single linked list fellow coding. Okay, so let us start creating the head node. Diksha, can you able to hear me? Use mic. Diksha, roll number 6. Diksha. No, she is not there. Okay. Monish, roll number 10.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it visible what I'm typing? Head is equal to new node. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So if head is
Yes, sir.
still null, then this is where you are supposed to write there is no RAM. Okay. So if you come here, that means head is available. If head is available, then you have to write C out. Okay, C out. Diksha, are you available? Enter the head node. Enter the head node, and whatever user is entering, that is C in what? Head arrow X. Now this is where I think I have assumed it as 1, which is nothing but A of 0. So this is A of 0. Now after this, we need to make head arrow pointer to next node as null. 48, did she came? 48.
Yes.
48, no, not yet. 2 students. Okay, roll number 48. She has not yet joined. Kirti, you are there? 49? Kirti? Okay, chat box.
Sir.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Can you able to hear now? Shall I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I want some boy student to respond. Maybe probably Satvik, 41, 41. Satvik or Sannit, 30, sorry, 40 or 30, 41.
Sir, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah, fine, good.
Yes, sir.
Prakshal, 25. Prakshal. 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 Chat box, Prakshal. Yeah, present. No, 25. Present, sir. 25. Okay, right. Prakshal is present. Okay. Probably he's not using the microphone. Fine. Can you able to? Okay, I'll proceed then. Okay, so ask the other students to join. Please ask the other students to join and use today's time to better understand how to code technically the entire single linked list, because I may not be spending too much of time for only creating the single linked list. Okay, because other logics are still pending. So let us proceed. So head creation is done. Shall. Okay, good. As the students, please, as the students, I request all the students to get connected so that the concept of how to code singly linked list is clear. And if any hustles or any problem is there in terms of understanding what we are doing, you are free to ask any questions and get your queries clarified. Okay. Okay, fine. So where are we? We have added the first node. First node is 1, and then the in head arrow next node, this fellow is null. Okay, so the address that I have taken is 100, which is the root node address. So let us write the root node address here. So this fellow is 100. This is head. Okay, so this is head. Now I have to start the next node. Now I have to start creating the next node. So in order to create the next node, again user is entering into while one loop, and again he is entering into add a node, and when is 1, if at that time head is not null, that means user is going to come here. Okay, so else part, or even you can skip else part, isn't it? There is no need of else part, because no, if you skip else part, then there is a bug. Yeah, there is a bug. So you have to mandatorily write else part, because even if you create a head node, then you will be unnecessarily creating another tail node, which is a contentless node. So therefore, writing else is also mandatory. Okay, so therefore, now what? Node star temp is equal to temporary node initially pointing to null, because I need to give a birth to another node. So let us assume this new node is at probably some other top address, which is let's say 786. Okay, so let me check the participants. No, let me complete this, because I have been switching between this and that. Okay, so I'll take probably this color, and then I will create the second fellow. This is this fellow. This fellow is here. Now this fellow is here. This fellow I am keeping at the top. Now I am taking the address of this. I am also need to draw this. No, color is black. Take black. Now this is this. I'm sorry. Is this. Now this part has two entries of the structure. So let us assume the address of this is 786. Let us say this is temp. Now this is my 786 here, 786, which I am naming it as temp. So I will be creating this because I need to attach a node. So I'm going to minimize, and what I'm going to do is I'll take this entire object down. Now I'll also take this fellow down. This is this fellow. Okay, so now what? Now I need to take the text mode. Can somebody acknowledge? Is my audio is good? Arif, is my audio is good?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine.
Yes, sir.
Star temp is equal to null. Now I'll say that temp, not temp. What is that? Temp. Temp is equal to new node birth. New node. Now this is where I'm assuming my address is 786. 786. This is my new address. Now this is 786. I think somewhere above I have already written 786. Yeah. What I'll do is I'll select this. Keep this down. Okay. Now this is where I have to store my second content, second element, which is 2. Okay. So in order to do that, I have written I have to start every time when I am adding a new node, you take a dummy node star p, which is initially pointing to null. There is no need to create for p because instead you ask p to point head such that while you are reaching, while you got the last node, is pointer to next node is not equal to null. Okay, so if this is so, then you change the value of p, which is a pointer. Instead of pointing to head, you go to the next node. So this is nothing but p is equal to p arrow pointer to the next node. Okay, so eventually what we are doing is now let me go up, let me zoom in. Okay, so is it visible? Somebody is my voice is audible? Somebody respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay, list of participant. I'll be happy if it is 40. Oh, 37. Okay. No, 36. Please ask the students to join. Okay, still I have not yet entered into the additional content what I have discussed. Next is what? So what is that we have done here? We are telling that you ask P to start from head. So P is nothing but 100 now. P is nothing but 100. You started at P here. Okay, so P is 100. Now traverse this logic. 100 arrow P next. Is it null? Yes, it is null because the engine itself is the last bogey. Engine itself is the last bogey, isn't it? So P, which is aliased with head, both are pointing to 100. Both are pointing to 100. Both are pointing to 100. Am I correct? Yes or no? Yes or no? So after the while loop, P is 100. P is 100. Head is also 100. Yes or no? Can somebody use mic? Yes or no?
Sir.
Yeah, good. Now what I do is okay, text here. So here after this what do I need to do? Temp is 786. So P is pointing to head. That means P arrow, which was earlier pointer P next, which was earlier null. Now you replace with the newly created node. What is the newly created node? Temp. Isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So let me bring
Yes, sir.
two fellows down. In these two. Okay. This down. Let me also bring this fellow also down. This Clear? Yeah, so this is 1 here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now in this statement, what we're doing is P arrow P next is equal to temp. P arrow P next, which was earlier null, now I am proceeding further. I am proceeding further. I'm deleting this fellow and I'm also deleting this. Delete this. Okay. So now this 786 which is being created has to be written here. 786. Okay. So therefore, as a result, what is that we are doing is a link is created. From where to where? From here, like this, till here. Isn't it? Isn't it? Okay, so now this fellow has to be 2 and this has to be null. So this code needs to be written. Okay, so let me take text mode. Can somebody respond? Is my audio is audible? Can somebody?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is where we are replacing null with new address. This is where we are replacing null with the new address. And then in temp arrow x, this is nothing but you have to ask the user, asking the user to enter a new node. You ask the user to enter the new node. Now whatever user is entering, that is, you take that C in and put that into temp arrow x. Correct? But the story doesn't end there, because you need to make temp arrow pointer to next node as null. That means this null fellow here. Okay. Is it correct? Is it correct? So what we have done is,
Yes, sir.
you take this eraser and then erase these two objects, this object, then this. Manidatta has left the meeting. Any problem? Anybody? Let me check the participants. That is 7. Can somebody come in between 1 to Bhaskar? Can you able to hear me? Roll number 5. Sai Sri, roll number 2. Sai Sri. Bhaskar, yes. Okay, Sai Sri. Sai Sri, use the chat box. Sai Sri, Srinija, yes. Okay, Sai Sri. Sai Sri, she's not there. She's there, yes. Okay, Diksha. Diksha. Diksha is not there. Okay, Ganesh. No, Dinesh or Ganesh. Roll number 7 or 8.
I am there, sir.
Okay,
Dinesh,
good,
roll number
Dinesh. Good.
7, sir.
Vivekananda, I mean, you are able to listen, no problem, right? No problem.
Yes, sir.
Roll number 9 is absent. Okay, 9 Raledu. Then Prakshal, he has left. I don't know what has happened. Okay. Juveria, can you able to hear me? 23. Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Nishat, right? Nishat. People call you Nishat or Juveria? No answer. Use chat box. Diksha, she is there. Okay. Very low response time. Fine. So shall I continue? Now it is already 11:50.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let us complete this. Let us complete. Okay. Now so here we have removed null. Now I have to I'm keeping what? I'm keeping here 786, isn't it? So that means physically looking, this node is now connected to this node. Okay. Now second node pointer to the next node is null. Yes, yes. Okay, this is where we are, right? Shall I proceed? Shall I proceed? Shall I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now assume that user wants to create another node.
Sir.
Yes, user wants to create another node. Now let us see what is the scenario. That means again you are in while one loop. Again user is asking to add a node. So again ch is 1. At that time head is not null. So that fellow will go to else. Now here you will understand why I am using p. If I don't use p, I lose head. If I lose head, there is no meaning. Okay, so now in else what is happening is you are giving birth to another temp node, which is our third element. Now let us assume this time this temp address is, let us say, some 220. Okay, so let us assume this time the temporary address is, instead of 786, I am saying that this is 227. So somewhere here in between 100 and 786 you got some discrete memory which is 227. That address is 227. So now at 227 you have two entities. What are they? They are x and pointer to next node. That means technically what is that you are supposed to do? You take another color, maybe this. Okay. So now this next node which is sitting at this place, which is sitting at that place, has two fields. Black has two fields. One is this and another is, the same thing is this, such that you now need to connect this link, this end, to be connected with this, isn't it? So every time you have to start from P. So in order to do that, now traverse, what is happening? If you are saying that node star temp is equal to null, temp is, you have created new node. So that new node address is 227. So this fellow is 227, which is now temp. Now temp is not 786. Temp is 227 now. When the user is asking to create this node whose value is 3. Now here the value is 3. Here the value is 3. And here the address is 227, which is temp. Okay. So now traverse, what is happening in the loop here? You are telling that P is equal to head. That means P is nothing but 100. Now 100 arrow P next. 100 arrow P next, is it null? No, it is not null. It is 786. So you are asking to update the value of P with, you are asking the node P to update with P, which was earlier head. So now P is changed to which address? 786. That means P is pointing here. P is pointing here. Now in the next loop, P arrow P next is null. It is true, isn't it? Null, it is true, and therefore now you are stopping here, and now this null needs to be removed. Okay. And what is happening? You are saying that P arrow P next was temp. Earlier P arrow P next was null. Now that null is now getting replaced by what value? 227, isn't it? So that means here you are here you have to get the value with 227. That means technically what is happening? Technically you are creating a link from here to here, isn't it? Now next you are saying that you enter the new node. Can somebody acknowledge? Use the mic. Can somebody acknowledge? Are you following?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
good.
sir.
So now you are asking, you enter the new node. So that new node is, let us say he has entered 3. So C in that becomes 3. Now this temp arrow P next has to be again null. Otherwise it is not appropriate. Always remember, in a linked list, the end node next pointer has to point to nothing. That is null. So this is how you have now attached the third node. Okay. Now let us analyze one more fellow. That means now this is null. I hope I am clear. Let me again repeat with another last node creation, and then we'll go to the actual implementation. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll create another node with probably a blue last bogey. So I'll create this node here with a value. Let us say I want to have a value of 4. Now where do I keep? I'll keep down 100 because I have a space here. So let us assume that this address is 61. Okay, so this address is 61. So when will what am I explaining? I'm again explaining, if the user opts to add another node by using the option 1, when the user is entering, that means when user is willing to add another node, so then choice becomes 1. Because choice becomes 1, now what is head is 100. So this is the reason why I have explicitly taken another node star pointer P, so that I should not get corrupting my head. Otherwise, if head is getting corrupted, your list is lost, your data list, your linked list is lost. So therefore I have taken P in order to attach a new node. Are you following? Are you following? Use the, are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So in the next time when user is willing to add, for your information, I'll close I'll close the session probably around 12:30 or 12:40. Okay, is that okay? Is that okay? Is that okay? Please use your mic. Is that okay? 12:30 or 12:40?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay,
Yes, sir.
okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so so now you are asking the user is asking to attach one more node. So let us say that that means user has already opted choice 1, but head is not null. So you are in else part. So in else part, you are again asking to create a new node, which is now instead of 227, now this fellow becomes, I think I've taken the address 61. I request the students to mute your microphones. Yeah, so this is 61, which is now 61. This is 61, which is now is the temp. Okay, which is now is the temp, which has again now two fields. Has again now the two fields. One is this and one is this. Physically this. Now what do I need to do? So if you are starting again from P is equal to head, that means P is 100. You are starting at the engine. Now you are checking while P arrow P next. What is P arrow P next? 786. Is it null? No. So therefore you are changing P. You are changing P with whom? With the address of the next node. What is the address of the next node? 786. So P is pointing to 786. P is pointing to 786. Now again you are going back to while. So 786 arrow pointer to next node. Is it null? No, because it is 227. So you are going to 227. So therefore P points finally. Therefore P points finally. Therefore P points finally to 61. Okay, so P is pointing to 61. Clear? 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 Am I clear? Can somebody use your,
Yes, sir.
yeah, so that means P is now pointing here. Okay, so that means now I need to, wherever P is standing, P is not pointing 61, P is pointing 227. 27, isn't it? P is pointing here. is pointing here. Okay. So therefore, P arrow P next, that means P arrow P next, which was earlier null, you are updating that to new address. You are updating that to the new address. Okay, so meaning delete that object. So this and this gone. So therefore, you are now maintaining a list from here to here. You are attaching another node. Now here, what is the address? This address is now 61. Okay, this address is now 61, and where you want to store 4 here, and here you need to make the last node as the null. That means logically what is happening is you are storing a of 3. Logically what is happening is you are storing a of 3 here. So you are removing this, and then you are updating instead of null this 61, and 61 is this fellow, is nothing but this time temp. Okay, so now you have to maintain, hence logically it is nothing but you have connected a link such that this node value becomes 4, last node is null. Last node is null. Yeah, please.
Sir, your voice is getting disturbed.
Yeah, now the last node is null.
Sir, voice is breaking.
Am I audible? Am I audible? Am I audible? Am I audible now? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes.
I have created a linked list with 4 nodes. I have created the linked list with 4 nodes. Now understand the logic of how we have created the linked list of 4 nodes and what is happening for every iteration when user is willing to add a new node. So technically, in physical memory, all these discrete blocks are connected to one another, but logically it is nothing but an array. Clear? So with this, adding a node
Yes, sir.
the end of the list is completed. Clear? Now display part is simple. What is the display part? You take a alias node, that is P, start from P is equal to head until P becomes null, you display P arrow X. Simple. So if you start P is equal to head, then P arrow X is A of 0. If you start P is equal to, when you move P is equal to P arrow next node, then P points to 786, then again P arrow X points to A of 1, isn't it? So it is nothing but a for loop saying that for node star P is equal to head until P is not equal to null, moving P is equal to P arrow P next, printing the value of P arrow X until P becomes null. So that will display, which is the option 2. So shall we start coding? Shall we start coding and complete this? So before I move further, if anybody has any doubts, you are welcome to ask. Am I audible? Can somebody respond? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
Yes,
good.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Sir.
Is the logic of creating a linked list? Though we have a technical break, is this clear? Is this clear? You want me to
yes, sir. Yes.
repeat? Anybody wants me to repeat? Anybody wants me to repeat? Please use your mic, or maybe you use your chat box. Let everybody be clear in terms of how to add.
Yes, sir.
How to add? Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. No need
Sir,
to repeat,
once
right?
again, can you repeat?
Yeah, let me repeat once again. Let me repeat once again. First, there is there is nothing. Everything is empty. So P is also, head is also null. That is above while one. Okay, so I'm just repeating again. Notice that you have a structure. So a singly linked list node will have a structure with a pointer to the next node of that same type. That was the definition. Okay, so that is point number one. Now, before you start creating the linked list, make ensure that your head node is outside of while one. Okay, so that is point number two. Now you tell that head is not pointing to anybody, so therefore head is null. That is point three. Then you throw the options. Throw the options to whom? Options to the user. For what? For whatever requirements being asked. What are the requirements? Adding the node. Now focus on adding the node. That means user is willing to add the nodes. Now as of now there is no node at all. So that means head is null. Now user is willing to add. Shall I proceed? Clear? Clear?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so at that time, choice is now 1. Because choice is 1 and because head is null, you are inside if. You are inside double if. Clear? Clear? Use your mic.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So at that time you are creating the first engine, that means head node. So head is equal to new node. I am assuming that that new node address is 100, which is the root node or the new head node. Okay. So how do you do that? By writing head is equal to new node. So here I am assuming that head is equal to 100. If at that time also if head is null, that means there is no RAM. You cannot create a linked list. So you have to stop stop running the program. So if it is not null, that means head is 100. Now what is that user has asked? User has already entered here in order to add a node. So you ask him what value do you want me to add at this memory? Whatever he is entering, that is nothing but head arrow x, which is a of 0. So since you have stored the first element, 1, take your head arrow p next as null. So this completes the creation of head node. This completes the creation of head node, where head node in our example is pointing to 100. Now notice that head node is also called as a root node. Now the point to be remembered by the programmer is at any time don't lose head. If you lose head, that means you don't know from where from which node the list is beginning. Okay. So whatever other logics that you want, you use some other dummy nodes such as P or Q. Shall I proceed? Now let me conclude. I have completed the explanation part of creating the head node. So creating the head node part, if anybody has any doubts, please interrupt me. Clear? Shall I proceed? Shall I proceed? Shall I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so once head node is done, now again user is willing to add the second node. So when user is willing to add the second node, again he is entering choice as 1. At this time, what is head? Head is not null. Head is already 100. So you are entering from here onwards into else part only. From here onwards, you are entering whenever user is willing to add a node, you have to enter in the else part only. So at this time, you need to create a temporary node initially pointing to null. Then again, you give a birth to a temp node. Assume that the temp node is 786. Now you need to start from the starting node. For that, you take a node star p, which is pointing to initially null. Then as your dummy node to start from head and traverse till the end of the list. Once the traversal at the end of the list is done, you stop at the last node. Okay, so here the first node itself is the last node when you have created the head node. So therefore P and head both are pointing to 100. Now P arrow P next is now null. So therefore you update P arrow P next with the newly created node so that you can add the second node. Therefore you are saying that P arrow P next is equal to temp. So here you are changing null with the new address, and therefore that in that new address you again got two fields. In that two fields, in arrow X field, you have to ask the user to enter the data. So therefore in cout you are asking the user to enter the new node data. Assume that user has entered 2, that 2 you are storing in temp arrow X, and therefore temp arrow P next, which is of course is the last node that you are attaching to this existing list, you have to compulsorily make it as null. This is how you have added the second node. Clear? Clear?
Sir.
Now again,
Yes, sir.
let us take another example of adding a third node. In third node, again choice is 1, head is not null, you are in else part, you are creating another new temp node. This time that address is 227, isn't it? This time that address is 227. Yes or no? In our example, the third address is 27.
Sir.
So again you take P, which is initially you assume that it is starting with nobody, I mean P is null, but you start from head and you traverse P such that it reaches the end. What was the end? 786 arrow P next. Earlier it was null. So you are asking P to stop at 786. So once P is stopped at 786, whatever new node you have created, which is 227, that new node address you are giving as the address of your P arrow P next, which was earlier null. So you are removing null and you are keeping instead of null this 227. Now this 227 is of course is the P. That is nothing but user is willing to add another node. So you prompt the user saying that cout enter the new node. Whatever he is entering, ask him whatever he wants to enter, you ask him. Let us assume user has entered 3. You take that value and then put that in temp arrow X. And the last thing is you have to mandatorily make the last node of the of the list must be to null. This is how addition of as many number of nodes as required as per the user you can keep on adding as long as you have adequate heap. Clear? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Come in. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Is that clear? Yeah, good. Now 40 students are there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us, shall we start programming this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll start opening a online GDB compiler. I hope it is visible. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let us start C++. Let me make ensure that this fellow is working properly. I think this is starting with, is the code is visible, or I'll make it as background. Where is that background? Not dark. I'll take it as a light.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, is it visible? Is it visible? I think now it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what I'll do is not stdio. We have to write hash include IO stream. Okay, now using namespace std. Just remind me once the time is 12:40. Okay, so I'll complete. I mean, we will be completing how to code the singly linked list by that time. So int main of void. Now, as I said, this is a singly linked list. So always remember all structures, all wrapper data types, global type def, struct, node. Okay. So int x, this is my element. Now next is node star pointer to next node. So this is nothing but this holds pointer to next node. For any problem which is pertaining to singly linked list, student must write this structure, must write compulsorily this structure. Here, here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now inside main, start head node. Tell that it is initially pointing to null. Next, while one. Why? Infinite loop. Returning 0 is always false process. Return 1. 1 means it is a true process. Okay. So now what? I have to ask the user prompting 3 options. One is add a node. Then probably 2 is display the list. And 3 is exit from the application. Okay. NDL. Now what? C in. Let us assume this is key. Let us take this as choice CH. Okay, so let us declare that choice as integer. Now instead of if else, use a switch case. Okay, so switch of choice. Inside this, user can opt any of the 3 choices. What are they? Case 1 or case 2 or case 3? Yes or no? Just 1 minute. Sir, నేను క్లాస్లో ఉన్నాను సార్. ఒక సార్ గుడ్ ఆఫ్టర్నూన్. నేను క్లాస్లో ఉన్నాను. ఒక హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్ తర్వాత చేస్తాను సార్. Okay, are you able to follow? Can somebody respond?
Yes, sir.
So in case 1,
Yes, sir.
case 1, this is how you have to start writing a dummy code first. Then filling up will be very easy. Break. Now here also break. Of course, I'm not using the default case. I'm assuming that user will enter only 1, 2, 3. Now in case 1 at that time, that means adding a new node. If my head itself is null, then he is asking me to add the first node. Isn't it? Yes or no? Else he is asking me to add the second, other nodes. So this is where you have to create. This is where you have to create a new node, add to the last node of the list. The 2 cases are clear? Can somebody respond?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let us focus on first one. That means head is equal to new node type. Now if is equal to null, then see out what? Head node creation is failed. Node creation is failed, isn't it? Then you cannot do anything else. So just return 0. That means I'm killing my application, because our main is returning 0. I'm sorry, our main is expecting an integer. So I'm saying that you terminate the application. Okay. Can somebody respond? Are you following?
Sir. Sir.
Okay, good. Now I'll be here only if head is not null. When head is not null, now what is that I have to ask? I have to ask the user, you enter the head node element. So whatever he is entering in our example, it was 1. That has to be stored where? See in head arrow X. Also you have to tell what? Head arrow pointer to next node is. So this completes head node creation. So let us display to the user saying that is created. It is created. Clear? 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 Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Next case. That means head is already there. Now he is willing to add one new node. Now what I have to do? I have to take node star temp, initially pointing to null, with new node type. Check that temp is also not null. If temp is null, again say that next node creation is also failed. See out, node creation is failed. Again, here you cannot do anything else, so return 0. Otherwise, otherwise, otherwise what? You have to traverse to the end of the list by taking a pointer P, initially pointing to null, asking P point to head, traversing the list till P arrow P next is not equal to null, changing the value of P as P arrow P next. So at the end of this loop, P will now points to the last node of the list. Because you have reached the last node of the list, now you ask the user enter the new node value. Enter the new node value. Now whatever user is entering, somebody's microphone is on. Okay, so whatever user asking, ask to store at not P. It has to be stored at temp arrow X because new node is pointing to temp. Now what? Already P is already P arrow P next is null. So what has to be done? P arrow P next should be updated with the temp. Okay, and then temp arrow P next should be made it as last node. And then you can say and you can confirm that a node is added. Clear? Clear? Can somebody acknowledge clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now
Yes,
we have
sir.
added. Now what I will do is let us display. That is 2 and then let us write 3. Second is I want to display. So in order to display, I'll again take node star P pointing to null. Okay. Now I'll say that P is equal to initially pointing to head. Okay. Then while until P is not equal to null, what I have to display? Cout. This is nothing but A of. Okay. I'll display only the elements. Cout. What is that? P arrow X. P arrow X is the value with a tab space. Okay, so I'll say that probably I'll saying that Gaussian the elements in the singly linked list are. Okay, in the next line I'll be displaying with the tab space. Just say that display is done. Okay, so I have added and I have displayed. This is what is the requirement. Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I don't want to do anything else. So what I'll do is at case 3 I need to terminate. So what I'll do is I'll simply write C out. Have a good day. Okay. But now remember, I need to eliminate or delete. Then only it will be efficient code. So for that purpose, what I'll do is I'll take star p, node star p, initially pointing to null. Okay, so I'll run a loop until p itself is not becoming null. But initially I have to say that p is pointing to head. So every time I'll make ensure that I'll take node star p. Okay, delete p. If I delete p, I need to take a backup of p arrow next. That means node star q. All this. What I'll do is instead of all this, have a good day. I'll just delete head. Gone. List is gone. Clear? Clear? Clear?
Sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So here I am returning 1. Here I am returning 1. That means this will terminate the program. If I return 0, that means here I should not come. Clear? So this completes our first program. Now let us compile this. Shall I compile? Anybody has any doubts? Let me check the participants. Let me check whether I could retain your attention. Participant
Sir,
41. Okay. So shall I start compiling? Let us start compiling.
excuse me, sir.
Yeah. Typedef has ignored the declaration. Typedef has ignored the declaration. Let me check any other problem. Case 3 has a problem. Case 3. Node star P. Crosses initialization of node star P. Line number 60. Okay. Yeah, somebody is saying some point. Somebody is saying some point. Case 3.
That's what I mean. P variable is named twice and thrice, sir. I mean to say.
Oh, yeah, that is correct. Redeclaration of same variable within the same scope is not allowed. What we will do is node star P I'll delete here. Then node star P which I have used here, I'll delete here. Now node star temp also I'll delete here. Now what else? I will keep everything here. Node star head. Now node star P is also pointing to null. Now node star temp is pointing to null. Any problem with structure? He's saying some problem in structure. Type def struct node star. Okay.
Sir, before semicolon note, sir.
Semicolon, where?
The structure, sir.
Structure
In the structure.
I have kept line number 8.
At last.
I have kept at line number 8.
We have to
It should be node and
node and semicolon, sir.
Okay. Wrapper. Let us check. That is okay. He is asking me to ignore. Okay, fine. Typedef has ignored in this declaration is a warning message. Maybe I think I have used C++ Golden compiler. Anyway, no problem. Let us now add a node. I'm opting 1. Okay, so enter the head node. Maybe now I'm adding the head node as let us say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Let us add 5 nodes. Okay, so now you can see that head is created. Now let me directly use option 2 to display. Oh, he's displaying infinitely. That means there is a bug in display.
Sir, loop dependent variable incrementation.
Yeah, so that means let us go back. Let us stop executing. Okay. That means I have P is equal to P arrow next. I have not done. Where in the display part? Yeah, I have just displayed.
Case 2, sir.
Okay, so here you should not only display but also you have to change. You have to change whom. P is equal to P arrow pointer to next node, because you have to make ensure that this fellow reaches the null. Okay, so now let us recompile this. Now let us recompile this. Yeah, I'll take 5 minutes, because I'll be losing this code. That was an infinite loop earlier, so he is not allowing me to compile. Let me open CPP. Where is that? No, not this. Was that online? Online GDP. Okay. Okay, I'm creating another instance here. So hopefully I'm assuming that this fellow will work. Let me use C++17 compiler. This is my program. Now what I'll do is I'll close this fellow. Leave this. Okay, so now compile. Okay, so add node. Add a node. Enter the node. Let us say 10. Directly let us display 2. Yeah, 10 is displayed. Now let me add another node. That means I am taking option 1. Now we are in else part. Enter the new node value. Let us say that is 20. Okay, so I have added 10 and 20. So 2 nodes were added. Now let me add another node. That means I am opting 1. I'm adding another node. So let us add 30. Add 30. So node is added. Now let me display. I should get 10, 20 and 30. Isn't it? So 10, 20, 30. Display is done. Okay. Now let me add one more node. Now let me add 50. Okay. So now let me display again. 10, 20, 30, 50. Okay. 40 I'm missing. Let me add 40 now. So that means 1. Now let me add 40. Now let me display. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay. Are you following? Are you there? Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Understood. So what we will also do is, we will also print the addresses of new nodes, where in the display part. That is in line number 66. I have already printed the value of X. Stop program editing mode. Okay, I have to stop this fellow. Okay, fine. So let us exit this. 3 means I'm exiting. Have a good day. Okay, so again enter the exit console. Fine. Now I have returned safely. So here, where here in case 2, I will also display the address of that specific node is equal to, what is that address? But P. Yeah, I'll stop. I'll take another 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, I'll stop, because with this, I think the introductory content which is necessary to create a linked list, you can also start coding from your side and start practicing. And when you sit in the next class, by the time you sit in the next class, you must be comfortable in creating and maintaining a single linked list. Okay, so P arrow X, and then I'm also printing P. What is P? P is nothing but you are starting from head. So you'll be printing head and then and so on. Okay, so let me print this with the line by line NDL. Okay. Clear? So the reason why I'm doing this is I want you to cross verify that the addresses are discrete. They are not continuous. They are not continuous. They should not be continuous. Okay, so add a new node. I'll add some 10 to 50. Node is added. Okay, now again add another node. Second node is added with 20. Now again add another node 30. Now again add a new node. I'm adding 40. Now I'll say display. See, 10 is at this address 0x690C20. 20 is at some other address. 30 is some other address. 40 is some other address. What are they logically? It is nothing but EF0. EF0 is 10. EF1 is 20. EF2 is 30. EF4 is 40. Here? Understood?
Sir.
So I request all the students to start practicing this with a simple Turbo C compiler or any online editor like this. Okay, so I'm sorry for the interrupt being caused because of technical issue raised from my side or from due to the network, because of which the audio was lost. So I'll stop here. So accidentally Ramdev sir has given us scope to extend our session. So we will reassemble back in the next class, but before that I will be scheduling a quiz. Okay, so that quiz, I think I already informed you that it will be on Thursday. Syllabus, let me not keep that much up to this content. I will communicate in terms of syllabus from the topics which are after quiz 1. Till which topics I'll communicate both in group as well as in the Google Groups email. Okay. But before you come and sit in the next class, I request all of you to start coding single linked list. And then once you have done, if I please recall the last presentation, I said the last one is, see, we have written a program where everything you have written in simple main. Okay, so what is this program is about? In order to store an array, you are just reading and displaying the elements. You have not done anything, isn't it? So in order to effectively use and build the algorithms using singly linked list, now you have to bring in functions. So instead of line number 25 till line number 37, it is nothing but it is evident that you have to create a head node. So you use a function by name, create a head node. Okay, so from line number 42 till line number 57, it is nothing but add a node at the end. So you replace that code with the function saying that add node at the end. Okay, so I can continue right now, but you do it from your side, and probably I'll start reconsidering or recoding the entire linked list program with the functions. Are you there? Are you listening? Somebody respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now you bring the aspect of functions and then you integrate your functions with your main. Then your main will be very simple code and your functions will be sitting outside of main. So that is what we will be starting in the next class. And after that, add a privacy. That means class with a structure which is a self-referential structure with a singly linked list with the functions. Are you following? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So by the time we reach coding the class with the functions with the singly linked list, that also is not the entry. Why? You are still talking about accepting the elements. Next what? Next you have to do processing. So all those logics we will do in the subsequent classes. So if you are comfortable, shall I schedule a session in between next class to the, I mean, before we have our next class on Thursday, if I am correct. No, not Thursday, on Friday.
Friday, sir.
We have it on Friday. So if it is
Yes, sir.
okay, I can schedule probably after 5 o'clock, or if it is okay, or otherwise fine, we'll schedule it on Friday. Okay, anyway, you have to sit for other classes, other courses. So you do practice and maintain a specific timetable for your course. But don't ignore C++ now, because if you stop coding, you will be stopping the process of thinking and building the logics. Okay. So on 23rd, I'm again repeating, I will be conducting a quiz. The syllabus will be communicated through mail. Okay, so let me sign off, and then I'll share the recording as well as this program, which lays as the basic starting step to understand the concepts of linked list along with this whiteboard. I hope the usage of whiteboard is okay compared with the integrated WebEx whiteboard. I think this is better. What is your opinion?
Yes, sir. It is nice, sir.
This is better, sir.
Okay, but eventually is
Yes, sir. It is.
yeah. Are you in a position to follow? Because you know there are a lot of which is analogous to your engineering drawing. You have to turn the shapes and all. Here you have to play with pointers. So, are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll stop here, and we will join again in the next class with all those prerequisites, assuming that you will be coming prepared. Only then it makes effective learning. Okay, so stay safe, be at home, and attend your regular courses, and don't waste your time. Okay, bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.